Good morning, Bella Vista. We're going to talk about something a little different today because we're very proud of the TV station here in Bella Vista. We've been here since the early 80s, believe it or not, and we've come a long way. So I'm going to introduce you to several folks around here that makes things happen. My first two guests today are our VPs, our VIPs here at the TV station. Todd, Henrich.
Mm-hmm.
I always say Henrich, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
You're Todd to me, and that's all that matters. He is our VP of operations, and we're going to talk to him in a minute all about what has happened in the past, and what he does behind the scenes. And then we have Dave Todd, and Todd,
Yeah.
There's that. He's the VP and our technical director. And you guys, we could not do this without you. There's no way. Any of us we couldn't do, but especially you two. Todd, how long have you been with the television station?
10 years as of April of 2023. April of this year, 10 years.
All right. And I think you started out as a camera guy?
Yep, cameraman.
And you never said anything much. You just operated that camera and made things happen. Mm-hmm. And then you left us for a minute, and then you came back. And so tell us now what you do, and first of all, a little bit of the history of how we got to where we are, and then what you do behind the scenes.
Bella Vista Community Television started out in 1982 in a building off of Bella Vista Lake Bella Vista, that used to be the building for the Sunset Hotel laundry operation. The operation remained there until 1999 and moved to our current location that same year. We've been here since about 1999-2000. I joined in 2013 and started out as camera, and then I did graphics and sound, and then in late 2019, I took over as the station manager. We updated the set, I think it was in 2020. The original set, got new paint and new set design and everything. And as far as what I do, I basically make sure we stay on the air. I take all of our original shows and get them ready for broadcast or streaming to our social media sites. Do a little post-production if necessary, maintain the equipment, make sure everything is up to date and running.
Absolutely, and we were able, through donations and contributions from the community, to upgrade a lot of that equipment that you were holding together with Band-Aids and wire for a while, right?
Yeah, we upgraded the server to digital and HD in last year, 2022. No, it's 2023.
I think it's 21 when the server went in.
Oh, 21 the server went in, and 2022 when it went online.
Yeah.
So, that was quite a project.
And you do really good work. I mean, nobody wants your job, so
no one wants my job.
Also, when we do some other community things that folks bring you something and.
Yes, I've got a couple of people I help to start on Peg Media that send me content. We do religious services. They send that to me, and there have been other people that have sent PSAs, and of course the city sends us the city council meetings, and the POA sends us POA meetings. Any kind of remotes that we do for choir, 4th of July, and so on. They bring those in, and we upload and we show them.
So is there a difference between what happens in the studio and remotes? Do you have to do extra work? Or
not really.
Not
usually
really?
Usually the remotes are handled by whoever is directing them, the producer. So I usually get a finished product as far as remotes go. So, but in the studio, our original shows don't usually require any post-production, but sometimes I'm required to do a little bit.
Yes, tweaking.
Tweaking. Yeah.
Tweaking, yes. Dave,
Yes.
you have been with us how long now?
It's only been a couple of years. I moved here to Bella Vista 3 years ago, a little over 3 years ago. And I'd say about 6 months after being here is when I started showing up here. So I've been with the TV station about 2.5 years.
How did we find you? I can't remember.
I
Or did you
contacted
find
you.
us? Yes.
It was one of the flyers or mailers they don't do anymore. I think the POA did, and mentioned that we had this community TV station, and I have a background from California, where I'm from, working in TV and film. So I called up and said, "Hey, what's up?"
Yes, you did, and we're so grateful. And you have been a big donator of equipment to the station.
That goes back to partly because of my background. When I was in California, other than working at our church and working with a friend of mine doing live video productions, I own a lot of gear. And when I moved here, I brought a lot of that gear with, and it was kind of sitting dormant. So I thought, why not put it to good use? And we needed some help here, so that's where it started.
So when you first came on board, and where we are now, and where we're going, can you kind of give us a path of what happened there, how we went through that upgrade?
I would start to go back to Todd with the server, because I was working with him for us to get the right server and to go through that. But while we were in that process, Steve, who works with us here,
Who is directing today's show.
directing today. He upgraded all the lights. We had all the hot incandescent lights that cook our talent, and now we have all LEDs. So Steve did that. It was one of the first things we did to modernize. And then when we got the server, Todd and I installed it physically into the system, had to pull out some old gear. And we had to go with the server first because we were running a standard definition server, but we couldn't put high definition content on a standard definition server. But you could take a high definition server and put standard definition content on it. So the first thing was the server. So we got the server installed and running. And then we ran that from, like I said, I think it was like January of 21 or 22.
22, yeah.
And then in August of 22, we shut the station down. We pulled out all the standard definition gear from the cameras that we use to everything in the back in the control room. And you had mentioned, I think the painting that was done, this is before me, I guess was when we painted it here is what we did.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
And out there too, in the lobby,
in the lobby,
whole
okay.
thing, yes.
Yeah, that was all like that when I came here.
Okay.
But then in the back in the control room, we redid the whole control room. We put
did.
some sound padding in, we did some painting, we changed the gear, and because we're running high definition cameras now, we had to have different switchers, had to have different equipment. So basically in August, while we were shut down, we came in and we installed all the gear, dialed it in, hooked it up, ran all the cables, ran the cameras. We even bought some more gear. We have a jib now, which I don't know if they can show that, but this is...
Maybe one of the cameras
Yeah,
can
right
show
here.
our jib. That is our little robot friend.
It looks a little robotic, but
Yeah.
we had to build that thing from scratch pretty much. So,
Yeah, but that's good for our overhead shots.
right, and that's the most versatile tool that we have that
Yeah.
we did add.
Yeah.
So, so in August we were finally a high definition TV station with server and equipment, and it was in September. I don't remember if it was the first week or second week. We did our first high definition broadcast.
And I don't know if anybody knew how important that was to us, but we were all cheering in the background.
Yeah.
We're in this century now. Thank
Right.
you.
There are more challenges, though, with high definition because of space. We've just recently added another server, but it's just storage.
Yes.
We added another 20-something terabytes just to store video that we've already created. Moving forward, we're going to stick with the high definition, and we have to store all that for our history, and so storage is a premium.
Yes. So where are we going? What's changed? What's going to be different in 2024?
Well, I don't know if you want to talk about our licensing we have or had.
We were on Cox and AT&T, and those contracts are now terminated, and we will be going to a streaming service on Roku, hopefully by the first of the year. Right now we are approved, and we are in the queue for being published.
What is that going to mean for us, guys? I mean, we're already kind of putting things on YouTube. We've done that. What's this going to do for
Well,
us?
part of the Roku part is because our licensing with AT&T and Cox has ended, we still needed another public platform. We're already on YouTube, we're on Facebook, but to reach more people, we've chosen Roku. It's just another channel like it is on your TV set. Most modern TVs have the Roku app right built into the TV. So all you have to do is go to your Roku app, look for Bella Vista Community Television, you'll find a little icon, and add it to your list, and now it's in your Roku channels.
And you can watch us in Cancun, where you just came from.
And that's the thing, is Roku's, last I looked, don't quote me, but it was like 61 million devices installed worldwide.
Yeah, and that's why you chose that particular
platform. So that, yes, our direct market is Northwest Arkansas, but if you go on vacation and don't want to miss that gardening show, you can still watch it.
There you go. I forgot about our gardening show. But a lot of things are going to change for us. I am so happy that we have both of you, and that you you guys spend hours that I don't even know about going through this and sifting through things, and wow.
Technology takes a lot of work and time. Other than getting it in and implementing, getting it running, as long as there's no problems, things are great, but technology doesn't allow that. There's always something going on.
So another thing we're hoping for going forward in the future is a lot more remote shows.
Yes.
And we're hoping, and we just got another fabulous new volunteer this morning. We need volunteers. Folks, we need volunteers. We need to duplicate these two and several more people that we're going to talk to a little bit later. And it's fun. It's a lot of work, but isn't it fun? Do you enjoy it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot. It's an accomplishment. You know, I used to do, was the front person for the Singapore Theater, and the most wonderful thing was when the curtain went up, but then when the curtain went down. So when you get that up on the server, it's like, thank you, and I'm out of here. So what would you like to say to the community about the station and what's happening going forward? Anything in particular you can think of?
The main thing is I really want to encourage the Roku app. We've spent a lot of time and energy, and I think that that's one of the best platforms for us to go forward. Things like Dish and cable TV, the market share is fading, so everybody's gone to a digital world, and I think this is our best venue into the digital world. I just like to encourage you to go to the Roku channel and look for Bella Vista Community Television in 2024.
And volunteer at this station.
And volunteer now.
Yeah, absolutely. Todd, do you have any parting words? Not that you're not going anywhere, but do you have anything you'd like to say before we sign off for this half?
Just what Dave said.
Well, you guys, again, you do so much work, and you're so appreciated. You have no idea.
Thank you.
Thanks.
So let's take a quick break, and we'll be right back, because I want to talk with a few more of our folks around here. Thank you. Hey there, we're back. You know, we just talked about two very important people here at the station, but now I want to introduce you to yet another side, and there's a great story here. I'd like you to meet our president, Jean Galloway. Hi, Prez, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
You know what? There's such a good story about, first of all, tell us how we found you, and then let's talk about your first day.
My first day was very memorable, yes. Well, I had been working, and it was during the COVID era. This was in early 2021, and the place that I was working had to close because of COVID. And so I found myself with maybe one day of extra time before I saw the ad that you put, or the article that you put on Facebook asking for volunteers. And I thought, you know, I did this at my church in Overland Park, Kansas. I think I'll go check it out. So I sent you a reply, and you called me within 5 minutes.
Oh, you know, I'm sitting there, just please volunteers. You know?
Oh, I was impressed.
Yeah.
And so I think a couple of days later was Wednesday when we filmed, and you said, come by the studio. I'd like to meet you. I'll show you around and see if, you know, it's something that you want to do. So I was so excited. And so I got here, and I didn't expect what happened next.
And we didn't scare you?
I'm still here.
Yes, you are. So what happened?
Okay, so apparently the guest that day had something come up that couldn't be here. So you said, how about you being our guest on the show? I was like, okay, why not? So my first encounter here was being a guest on your show to talk about the importance of being a volunteer, which is something near and dear to my heart. I think we all have the innate desire to give back.
Yes.
And one way we do that the best is through volunteering. And if you look around Bella Vista, yes, there are businesses, but there's a lot of volunteering done in Bella Vista to make this city the great place it is to live.
Exactly. And speaking of that, didn't you ring a bell or something recently?
I just did. Now, my mother, so volunteering's in my DNA.
Okay.
So my mother served for many, many years on the Salvation Army Board in the Kansas City area.
Okay.
Her favorite thing to do was ring the bell. She called it ringing the bell for help. I'm going to go ding the bell for help. And so being in Bella Vista through my church, Highlands Church, we work with Salvation Army to be bell ringers during December. So every year I get to volunteer to ring the bell in my mother's honor.
You get to. I love that.
I get to.
It's not like I have to. I
No,
get to.
I get to.
Yeah.
And it is such a joy. So we were at Allen's, and I think Mayor John Flynn was just on your show.
Yes.
And he gave the great news that on the Mayor's Challenge, Bella Vista won. We got the most money from all the mayors in the neighboring cities.
Can
which
you
is
imagine
great.
little bitty Bella Vista?
Yes,
That's
it's
great
awesome.
stuff. Yeah.
Well, I have found Bella Vista to be a very giving community. Our folks are so generous with their time and their finances and their talents.
Exactly.
So,
Let's talk about a few of the volunteers we have here, besides you, obviously.
Yes.
And thank you for not letting us run you off the first day. That's fabulous.
No.
What do you do here?
What do I do?
Besides being the press and the front guy?
well, I have been a camera operator. I have done graphics, sound, directing,
Remotes?
Yes, I am the director of the POA board meeting, camera at the city council meetings, and then the big event that we have is the new members meeting once a quarter at BV Country Club. And we actually have gotten 3 volunteers, stellar volunteers from that one remote that we do. So you just never know how important it is to be out in the community.
Absolutely. You know, I'd like to highlight right now one of our volunteers who is going to start doing a few things differently, I believe, Kevin Quinn.
Yes.
Who has been with us for 10 years, and nobody would even know who Kevin was, but we know.
We know.
Because he's done so many of the remote shows. He's done, and he takes the crew.
He's
and
our captain.
He's your captain at both the city council, or has been, and the POA board meetings. And in future, he's not leaving us, but he's going to be traveling a lot more, and we'll be doing some remote shoots if he's in town. So
Yes.
thank you, Kevin. If you're out there watching, thank you. We
Yes,
appreciate
he has been just a joy to work with. And I I worked the remote shoots because of Kevin.
There you go.
So,
And let's take a few minutes to also thank somebody else that's been with us for a very long time, who's actually directing the show today. He's our lighting expert,
yes.
and that is Steve Little. So thank you, Steve. We appreciate you as well. And you have done a little bit of everything and been there when others haven't, and we really appreciate you. So what are you doing there? Nodding, saying thank you? Is that what you're doing? That was interesting. Okay, so
Well, I just want to add that the level of technical expertise that we have within our TV family is astonishing.
it is. Let's do something fun. You want to?
Okay, sure.
Let's zoom in on a couple of folks that are
Okay.
standing out there right now with cameras on us. You want to?
Sure.
All right, let's go over here to Nathan. Hey, hi Nathan.
Hello?
Tell us a little bit about you and how long you've been with us.
Yeah, I moved here about 6 months ago to Bella Vista area. Then I had a background in film and TV production back in college, so this has been a chance to really apply those skills and refresh those skills in a practical environment.
So do you enjoy the camera?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Yeah, well, you're doing a good job, and don't you operate the jib a lot?
Oh, yeah, do that, do teleprompter, do sound, just
Whatever
needed of
needs
me.
to be done. I
Yes,
think
ma'am.
we've stuck you, sorry. We've had you in the control room a couple of times too, haven't
Yeah,
we?
yeah.
Yeah, so. Well, thank you for being who you are, and we are grateful for you.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Let's go over here and talk to yet another young man who is behind a camera right now. Hi, Patrick.
Hi, it's nice being on here.
Well, give me a little bit of history about your big brother, your family, and how, first of all, how old are you, or do you mind talking about that?
I turned 13 in May this year.
Yes. So can you give us a little bit of cliff notes on your family and how you're here and...
Well, I came here because my older brother Aiden started when he was 11, and so family figured I needed a volunteer job, right? And so my mom had suggested that I follow in Aiden's footsteps and become a volunteer at here at the Bella Vista TV station.
And you've done a little bit of everything. We just put you wherever we need you, correct?
Yeah, just about. Sound, teleprompter, camera, wherever I'm needed.
Yes. Well, what do you enjoy most about being here?
Probably getting to see the guests and whatever we have going on in the week.
Yeah. Well, again, we are so grateful for you, and thank you, and we hope that you'll be with us a while. Your older brother, Aiden, who has done a little bit of everything too, is now 19, I believe, maybe 20, 19, and he is now also working at 4029 TV station, correct?
Yeah. He runs the soundboard at 4029 currently.
So, well, anyway, thank you guys. You're good sports. We appreciate you. Okay? All right.
We have such a wonderful team.
Don't we really? And all the shows
We're
we
family.
do. We are a family. So we have, let's just do a quick rundown. We have, let's start with the first part of the month. We have Entertaining with Food and Spirit. That's always fun because there's usually food and spirits that the camera guys get to.
And we get to partake.
Yes, we do.
So that's always the joy.
And then there's the Mike Clary Show.
Yes.
Which is a little bit of everything. There's music there. There's
Positivity.
items.
Yes.
Right.
Self-growth. I mean, Mike is very inspirational.
He is, and he has cool costumes. Speaking of costumes, you were just bragging on Nathan a while ago.
Yes.
And Mike Cleary and his wife with the costumes they did.
And Kim Carlson.
At all of those folks that showed up at the remote to work the.
Trick or Treat Town.
Yes.
Yes. And we had Marshall.
Our new guy.
Marshall Mitchell.
Yes.
Yes, that's hard to say.
A lot of people think it's the Marshall Tucker Band, but it isn't.
No, he's our singing cowboy.
Yes.
And he entertained thousands of children. We had, the last count I heard was over 2,000. And it was a much bigger event than we ever thought. But yes, our singing cowboy sang for 3 hours and entertained the little kiddos. And so it was great. And he has a new show starting with us in January.
In January, absolutely he does. And then the second week of the month, we really record Bella Vista and Beyond, and that's what most shows were recorded under in the past. We've kind of broken out of that, but that's with Nancy Noyes.
And I got to fill in as a guest host for Nancy.
See, there's another thing you've done.
And I had the pleasure of one show I had, I think it was in July of this year. I interviewed the Bella Vista Business Association Board, of which I am also a member. And then the second show I did was in August, and we talked to two of the police lieutenants in our fabulous Bella Vista Police Department about all the capabilities that they have to protect and keep our city safe.
Yes.
And if you haven't seen the show, you will be enlightened.
You will. And then also we have an art show.
Yes.
Jana.
Yes.
Jana teaches folks how to draw and paint,
Paint,
etc. And then, of course, we do the mayor's city update once a month.
I call it the State of the City Address.
State of the city, yes. He's the one that came up with In with Flynn.
I like that.
I like it too because it's kind of more fun than.
But it'll always be the mayor's rap.
It'll always be the mayor's rap because that's what it was for thousands of years.
Right, but it's in with Flynn this year with Mayor Flynn, yes, and he's a delight.
Yes.
Doing a great job for our city.
Yes. And then we have Let's Talk About It, which is what
we're doing
today.
Yes.
But we also have other topics in the community that are important that need to be discussed for that. And then the fourth Wednesday of each month, we do senior happenings.
Another important topic in Bella Vista because what's our average age? It's senior happenings.
Pretty much. Tricia Ayers does a great job with that. And we have our wonderful little decorating. I'm sorry, my mind just went blank.
Casual elegance.
Designing with casual
Casual
elegance. Duh.
That was not planned.
No, it wasn't. But Susan is amazing. She's also our marketing director.
Yes.
And has done incredible things, and we so appreciate her.
Yes.
And then we have the gardening show. Now, that has actually won national and regional and national awards within the garden clubs all over the United States. So it's going to take a little bit different turn next year, but
And they're a sponsor.
and they are two sponsors.
One of our sponsors,
In
too.
fact, the Bella Vista Garden Club and the Benton County Master Gardeners are show sponsors.
Yes.
So we're excited about that.
Yes, and the thing I appreciate most about the garden show is coming from a city that had dirt
To rocks?
to rocks. It's a different type of gardening.
Totally. Completely.
So the garden show each month tells you what you need to do for that particular month to make your garden grow, your plants and vegetables. And it's just good information to have because we are unique living in a forest on mountains. So
That's right.
it's a whole new ballgame.
Exactly right. Well, we could talk forever because we do periodically.
Yes, we do.
A lot of work goes on behind the scenes, even other than the technical things that are happening. So
I would like to give a personal invitation as president of the TV station
okay.
to all of our community. Come visit us on Wednesday morning. We're in studio from about 9:30 to 11:30. Just come hang with us, have fun with us. Who knows, you might fall in love with what we do here and join our team, and we would love to have you.
Absolutely. All volunteers or an audience.
Or an audience.
I would absolutely love in 2024 to start getting some audience. Wouldn't that
That
be
would
fun?
be fun, like a peanut gallery.
Oh, we could do that too. All right. Well, thank you so much, Dean, and thank you for everything you do. We appreciate
Thank you for everything you do,
Well-
because JB serves on the board as our treasurer and helps us manage our finances, which if you would like to donate, we are totally dependent upon donations.
Yes.
And you can go to our website to donate It doesn't matter what the amount.
No.
Everything is appreciated and needed so much. So thank you for all that you do, in addition to being our executive producer. So I just can't tell you enough what a wonderful team we have. And everybody pitches in and we make it happen.
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, so that's where we've been and where we're going. Thank you for listening to our little spiel today. So get it out there, talk to folks. Hopefully we'll get a whole bunch of new volunteers coming
Well,
in.
that would be fabulous.
Wouldn't it? Okay.
Yes, looking forward to it.
All right. Well, thank you guys for joining us today on Let's Talk About It. Next month, I have got a brand new cool topic. I'm not telling you what it is because I want you to join in with us next time. So take care. We appreciate you. Happy holidays from Bella Vista Community Television.